So here's the thing with getting black with a fiber laser on steel. It takes time. There's no such thing as fast black, especially if you're looking for actual black and not just black at one angle. It's a labor of love and time, and if you try and rush through it, you're going to end up with some really subpar shitty results.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Laser Source Podcast, your mom's favorite laser engraving podcast. Brought to you by Boyce's mom's favorite website. Johnson Plastics Plus, jpplus.com. The number one place online to get a whole bunch of neat stuff for your lasers, including, but not limited to, blanks, tumblers. Maybe you want a sublimation printer like some people have. Axes, apparently. Boyce. Nugget is here. Hi. How are you? Can you look at how big this girl is now?
Dude, I've seen your wife's post, man. Holy smoke.
My goodness.
She's literally gigantic. This is ridiculous. You remember when we were like
baby? She was born?
Baby, yeah. She was like a tiny little baby.
Good
we were
Lord.
in this show, which is ridiculous. And now she's here.
She 3?
Yeah, dude, she's 3. It's crazy.
Damn.
Wow.
I know. Okay.
Time flies.
Fair toy over there, please. Thank you.
It's hard to believe I've been doing this long.
I know, right? If you guys didn't notice, Boyce is here.
Blast from the past.
Blast from the past. You don't look any older than the last time I saw you, man.
This don't look more gray?
No, it looks.
No.
If anything, it looks fuller. You know, it looks more like
Not
an
a skinny
adult.
beard, it's a full beard now.
Yeah, it's
kind
nice.
of.
I'm into it. How are
Oh,
you?
baby. Good, man. Just
Talk
busy.
to me. Busy.
I told
Yeah, know.
Diana I was going to jump on here, and she's like, oh, God. What time is it going to be done? Midnight? 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Do you want to show the
Okay.
viewers what you're snacking on over there? Mm-hmm.
Well, that was full like 5 minutes ago.
Well, it's been 5 minutes, you know, so.
Old Forester. Right.
But-
We're working toward 2 peach
No more
boys.
peaches. No
Brought
peaches.
to you by Johnson Plastics Plus, the number one rye engraving podcast.
Yes.
It's really good to see you, dude. So you've been
Yeah.
busy with what? What the hell have you been doing? Because all I see is you making a mess.
Yeah, I do that. Like, we're just trying new markets, you know, like car dealerships, schools. Those are 2 big ones right now, is like school fundraisers and car dealerships.
What do you sell into car dealerships?
Buy a car, they get the keychain, they put their keychain on the new key with like a QR code on one side and their logo on the opposite, so they can QR code for maintenance or their salesman.
Dead simple.
Yeah.
You just go like door to door to all the car dealerships?
Well, first I went to the one where I bought my car at.
Hey,
And at first I needed some maintenance done on my car, so I bartered.
look at there.
So they got some tumblers and keychains for the maintenance on my car. And then that turns into more business later, and I've proof of concept, then I go to the next one.
Nice.
Then I
You
just
say,
go,
hey,
Get the system down.
Look
Like,
what
I heard that
look what I
story
sold
earlier.
to Jimmy Volkswagen. You need these now.
Like, I heard that story earlier, and he's making it sound like it's not that big of a deal, but it's like $1,000 worth of services that he got
Yeah,
traded.
Yeah.
How
free
much-
maintenance, no
yeah,
tax
and-
out.
How much was it that, like, what was the value of what you actually gave them, like, for you? Like, what was the cost, rather?
For out of pocket for me is nothing for the keychains. It's scrap 1/8 inch
Yep.
Baltic birch and a bunch of those damn keychain thingies. Just like these are like a
Yeah.
penny, man.
Those are nothing, yeah.
It's just nothingness. It's
So
negligible.
basically, you got
So just-
$1,000 of car services for scrap.
for 30 tumblers that are like
Yeah.
$7.
Right. So
So, like,
$200 and some
200
scrap.
bucks.
Yeah.
Done.
That's
Solid
it, man.
deal.
$1,000 worth of
some
maintenance,
And that got
labor.
his and that got his foot in the door to do
labor,
business,
exactly.
which is what
Right.
work. Yeah.
Have you done more work for them yet that they've actually paid
They
you for? Not yet.
they're like a sponsors meeting for their company, and so then they said, okay, they gave those all away. He
Mm-hmm.
says, okay, we're gonna order 50 more here in the next month. Q2, they're gonna order 50 more. And
Sick.
just kind of hopefully it'll be a quarterly, you know, it's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the
but
schools
if they
like,
ordered
they're like,
50 a piece. I mean, that's a couple $100 a month.
yeah,
Killing it.
easy, just easy money.
Yeah.
Yep.
repeatable
So just
file.
that, and just it's the school fundraisers. Every season's rolling around, and by the time you get done, the next one goes.
Yeah.
So like
You're
Matt was
pulling
doing
that.
the school. Yeah, exactly, man. Like school, there's no competition.
How
Yeah.
how are you handling order taking and stuff? Are you doing anything novel for that?
Either like the schools, we send them a form, and they pre-sale and prepay. Then I go order the supplies, the acrylic or whatnot, or the tumblers, and then
Yeah.
it's
Is it
just
the
that
form that I
easy.
made you forever ago, or that I made like a long time ago, or did you make a new one?
I made a new one. So I had to be a little more nuanced. I had to be able to edit it as far as like what pictures of their stuff. I went on Adobe Photoshop to do a mock-up of their logo without wasting one of my tumblers or something. You know,
Right.
just make a flyer real quick, simple stuff. Email it to them, and they download it and print it out.
Yep, that's what I
That's
do.
what they usually do. Or like a different school orders like 50 keychains for stocking stuffers, and they sell them at the basketball games.
Yeah.
I sell them to them for 8. They sell them for 15. It's a win-win. It's for a school fundraiser, so it's a win-win. And plus, it's a minor profit, but it's business.
But that's where it's like 7 times 50, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not nothing.
Right. It's still
That's
300
part of a
bucks.
laser paid, and that's what I did with when I worked in the actual physical school building. It's just $300 this month, $200 next month, and by the course of a year, that adds up to the $5,000 that you paid for whatever laser that you got, floating behind you.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Yeah. Just you got to find your own little niche in your area, and
Hit
like
it.
the sign party stuff was good for a while, but then it kind of dried up. Where people are like, well, I got signs. Fuck it, I'm like, all right, well, on to the next thing. So we're going to start making kits. Instead of having parties, we'll sell you a kit and mail it to you now instead. Instead of hosting them, we'll just send you a kit, and we'll send you a link to an Amazon referral link, for paint kits. And say, okay, here's your acrylics, here's your tape. It's just a little nickel and diming like that. You can just,
Yeah, Easter eggs, by the way, if you guys haven't started doing Easter eggs yet, I actually had this was something that JP Plus sent over, the solid wood engraving sheets, like
Nice. Yep,
and
clean.
these you can just cut out an egg shape, throw it under your CO2 galvo, hit it, make a nice dark mark so that people can paint inside of these, and basically just, if whatever scrap wood you got, but I'm just saying they sent this over and I was playing with it. And that's where you can sell it to shops for a couple bucks a kit, and then let them do what they want with it. Like you make it in bulk, or like you said, if you've got a mail order list already, which is pretty dope. Hey, we're doing
just
these.
send them a link.
You can do pickups, or we can mail them to you.
Yeah, because I was looking at going to Alibaba and buying these like 10-piece, 10 colors with 3 little paintbrushes. But I thought, where the hell am I gonna put all that shit? You gotta buy like 100 of them.
Yeah.
It's like I'll send you a link, you buy it, and then I'll make a $1, if that.
You'd probably do well with my most memorable job that you ever did was that fucking lake thing.
Oh yeah, those are all gone. I sold all those and just waiting for spring.
That seems like, I feel like that would make a good kit, kind of a project.
DIY kit
that you can cut to order, and you can
bad idea.
You could number the layers or whatever so people know how to paint them. I feel like that would make a nice little kit thing,
way cheaper. Hey, if you can't afford it all done, here's how you can make your own, and say I made this.
And every county's got a lake, right? I mean, you could just
pretty much
just make that shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do probably in the spring. Get in the summertime, go these local stuff. I just hate doing it, but it is a moneymaker. So
sure.
It's Michigan, so we have a ton of lakes here.
Yeah, you're all lake.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry to hear about Lake Michigan is now what that guy did the other day. It's Lake Illinois. That made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. That made me laugh. Anyways, yeah, sorry for your loss.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me.
Anyways, all right. So, who else were we doing?
I was gonna say, just so sorry, I kind of skipped ahead here, but I'm just so excited to see Boyce
back
on the screen again. It makes me so happy. Oh my God, Resin, my brother is gonna shit his pants when he hears that you collect magic cards. He's really big into that too. I'm just reading your email now, so because I'm curious.
All right, and then what have you guys been up to while people get their questions lined up in chat? Anybody else got anything exciting?
Well, I haven't said anything in the last month or two, but I'm working on closing on a house with my girlfriend.
Oh,
bro.
So the closing date should be coming up. So I'm a little stressed and anxious about that, as you can imagine, because
that's badass.
houses aren't a cheap purchase and they're a long-term commitment.
Yeah, so if you haven't, go sign up for the Laser Master Academy for masters.lasereverything.net because Kyle has a mortgage now.
Oh my god!
Yes. My job is now more important to me than ever. Because I have a place that money needs to go. I also
I've never cared about this job once, but now please.
No, I care about it, but now
Please,
the
please,
money is going into a thing I can default on.
Kyle's like, I have a child.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's good, dude. Congrats,
Yeah,
man.
congrats.
Aside from that, just been packing and organizing, and hence the blur. Also, my capture card is crapping itself, which is part of the reason why I'm like doing a frame by frame right now, and you guys are not seeing me move.
I think you need to do one good capture of yourself like this, and then hit freeze. Yeah.
It's not a choice. It does it when it wants to. So yeah, that's all I got going
It
on.
does it
I love how I said
when
that's
it's
all
not
I have going on. Like, that's not a life-altering thing.
Oh, I have more going on, just not anything I can
You should
talk
do
about.
an episode for the channel called "How I Moved My Lasers from House to House."
Oh, that would actually be, yeah.
I was thinking about doing like garage work logs, vloggy type stuff, and setup and setting stuff
dude,
up.
I'd
from
pay money
scratch
for you
and-
to just throw like a GoPro on the floor while you're packing and then time lapse it. You know what I mean? Like,
There's content.
We'll have
The
to,
Kyle cave.
we'll have to figure it out. I don't know what's gonna happen yet, but it's gonna be a lot of chaos.
cool.
That's where you thrive. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
Kyle thrives in chaos.
When I think Kyle, I think chaos.
Thanks, buddy.
When I think Kyle, I think padded room.
Sometimes I need a padded room. Yeah.
I think
So we got some stuff we got to sort out before we move the stuff in, obviously. But
Kyle's like, give me a padded room and a high-speed internet connection.
that's one thing I won't have a problem with is high speed internet. Hopefully,
That's
we got
nice.
options. So
Kyle will be the newest laser pecker because he'll
Oh
just
my
be
God.
sitting there like pecking the thing to make it work with his head.
Kyle, did I tell you? Nobody else here gives a shit, but the office randomly had its internet upgraded.
that's good
I
news.
care about
Yeah,
that.
I got 500 symmetrical now,
Oh my
which is
god!
much
That's
better
good.
You guys
than the
don't know
80 down, 7 up.
beforehand. He had a turbo.
All it took was 6 months of you using all of the bandwidth both directions for them to upgrade it.
That's right.
Cost the guy like $18 more a month to do.
I'm still using all the bandwidth, but you know, it was a good attempt. There was an effort was made. So,
All right, Anthony, what do you got, man? What have you been working on?
Kyle.
it's been kind of a slow couple weeks, really. I've been working
Good.
on.
So you've had plenty of time to make that video about lenses. You said you were.
I'm actually working on that, and I have a sourdough starter I've been nurturing.
Oh,
for the last
fuck.
You
six
are-
months.
You old man.
That's
Spirit.
that's the most exciting thing to happen to me in the last 7 days. But
When you showed that
Anthony's
picture,
like, yeah.
that, I was
So
like-
in the laser engraving world, I actually lately I've been breeding and raising ducks. I really like duck eggs.
oh yeah, chickens are coming next.
Eggs-
dude.
eggs
These
is a hot
egg prices
market,
are
so-
nuts,
have you
bro.
guys have you looked into artisanal carrots? That's what's next on my list.
Artisanal carrots. Carrot dying. Baby carrot dying.
We
Yeah,
can't kill the baby carrots.
I'm gonna have to dye some carrots for Easter because I can't afford the eggs.
Anthony's like, I finally caved and I grow corn now.
Yeah.
Oh, G. Smith said they baked their first sourdough the other day.
Oh, sweet.
And then Bunny Washer said Anthony's a pretty big deal on Discord.
Oh yeah, we know. Latest coin winner was pretty sick. Saw
Ooh,
that.
Yeah. Mickey Burr
Yep.
ran away with it this month, and for the month of February, we're doing 90s horror. So
What'd you
we've
call
had
me?
like 9 submissions and 6 of them for one guy. He's like going ham on it, trying to trying to get the first place, man. But anybody's welcome to join us.
What's the prize?
There's no
Bragging
prize.
rights, my
Bragging
brother.
rights.
Bragging
Fair
rights.
It's
enough.
this right here. Like that's what you get to say is like I'm the champ this month.
I'm
And if you go back to back, it's a double fister.
My favorite 90s horror movie is The Faculty, and I'm wondering if I could do like a sick
There you go.
Faculty coin.
Man, I haven't seen that movie in a decade and a half.
It's Elijah Wood, baby. That's
No,
that's
not
who it
this.
is.
This wasn't for you. It was for
Oh,
Boyce.
is Boyce doing over there? We don't want to see that.
Pretty much. He found that on the website or whatever. But
OnlyAskMe.com is fine.
What is your? Do you guys have a favorite 90s horror movie? I don't really think about 90s being a horror decade. It's kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
You have Nightmare on Elm Street. You have Halloween. You
Nightmare
have
on Elm Street and Halloween are not 90s movies.
No, there was
They ran
definitely
into the 90s.
submissions in the 90s. I think Jason Goes to Hell was in like 94. The Final Nightmare was in 93. Scream
Puppet
was
Master.
there.
what movie
That's a good one.
freaked me out?
I think I'm gonna go
Hellraiser.
with Scream. I'm gonna show my cards and I'm gonna say it right now. I'm going with the Scream theme.
Hellraiser.
Did you guys
Hellraiser would be cool too. Yeah.
Event
Or Critters. Somebody's got to do Critters.
Event Horizon? That was a freaky movie.
That was a
Puppet.
weird movie. Yeah.
It was
Puppet
like
Master.
yeah, no, Event Horizon messed me up because it was just like it was how science was hell, like it was the gateway to hell, and I was like,
Wasn't that with like the guy from Jurassic Park and like
Lawrence-
That's when the guy like puts himself in the airlock and like sucks himself out of the
Yeah.
airlock. That movie's
it's like
messed
Lawrence
up actually.
Fishburne is one of the guys in charge.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people. It's actually a really good movie. Like it's suspenseful,
Yeah, it
scary,
is.
instead of
Mhm.
just like jump scary. It makes you think. So when you leave the place, you're like, we're so fucked. like that
What?
one's still like my
Was,
kid-
was Tremors a 90s movie? Does that count as horror?
oh yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
Tremors.
I mean, it's like campy horror, but I mean, so is Freddy and Jason really too.
What about I don't know if this really counts as
Oh,
horror.
here
I'm
we go.
drifting, but Pitch Black.
Yeah.
Pitch Black.
Oh my
Resident,
God.
Or was that
Resident Evil, yes.
2000?
Fucking
Alright, hold on.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pitch Black,
yeah.
dude. That's a great movie.
We got
He's
people
not-
in
he's
chat.
not
So
3DHP said Phantasm.
yeah, Hellraiser, and then I thought all those were comedies, is what Jack in the Shop said.
Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah.
That is
fantastic.
literally the antithesis of
Oh,
horror.
Laura.
Blair Witch Project.
A man has a penis gun in that movie.
In what movie?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just-
It's a great movie. It is not a horror movie. Neither is
Laura
Army of
said,
Darkness.
oh my gosh, what is it? Misery. That was a creepy movie.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Pet
that's a weird
Cemetery.
one.
That's not horror. That's suspense.
That movie screwed me up.
All right. By the way,
Sounds
this
like
is a
The
laser
Ring.
podcast. we
The
spoke.
Ring.
Was the Ring like 99 or what? When did that come out?
Let me look that up. Let me
I
see.
feel like that's 2000s.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was like
that was
2000.
that was when I could drive to see that
1 or
movie. I remember
2.
going to the
Because that'd be sick to do like the well
Mm.
as the coin. Like that'd be kind of.
I think it'd be cool to have the girl one arm out and one arm back inside doing the
Mm.
TV.
Oh,
that'd be
yeah,
pretty
that'd be
dope.
dope too.
All right, now
Yeah.
we got to do 2000s horror. movie.
Anyways, all right. So that's all on our Discord, by the way, in case you're wondering and you just showed up and you're like, why the hell are these idiots talking about horror shows?
It's because the theme for
Yes.
the coin challenge this month is 90s horror. That's why we're talking.
Boyce, what were the bragging rights again?
Huh?
Get that rise hitting them. That rise
Oh,
hitting them so
no.
hard in the face.
It's gone.
Oh, where am I? What show is this?
Did I tell you guys that I have a laser? I got 2 of them. We have any questions in chat yet? Oh, we
Yeah,
haven't
there's
done what
one.
we've been up to. I want to hear what Alex and you said you've got stuff. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I did. So I have 2 episodes coming out. Oh, 2002, The Ring. I knew it. I had to satisfy that thought process. So the first one is, if you remember, we did the Johnson Plastics Plus Ultimate Guide to Engraving Leatherette. We did like every leatherette. I'm like,
Yeah, that was a good one.
So I have the same thing coming out for their slates, which is cool. I think I mentioned it very briefly last week. It's about half edited right now. It just needs a little additional kind of voiceover work to go with all of the footage we've shot, because I did all the testing at once. So all the footage has been shot for a few weeks now. So just like cleaning up the script and kind of getting it to flow nicely because it's a huge info dump like the last one we did. That said, it will be a little bit more straightforward because it's slate, so it doesn't have the same wide variance in reactivity that the leatherette does, right? So if you put the leatherette under the UV and then stick it under a blue light diode and then stick it under the fiber, it's going to do pretty different things depending on, you know, what you're using and how you're hitting it. That's not really the case with slate, which is just kind of like a black rock. It's really brittle and it absorbs a ton of light at all wavelengths because it's black, and it's non-reactive because it's inorganic. So it does pretty much the same thing every time you expose it to energy, which is super nice because it's really hard to mess up, but also there's not as much content there for a video as there is for something like leatherette. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to do the same thing I did for you guys last time. We show you the results from every machine. I've got them all labeled with chalk on like one of those giant slate placemat boards. And we'll just go through them one by one, and you guys will kind of get to see, you know, what does what and how it looks and how we got there. I'll have the same banner up on the screen with all the settings that we used from station to station. So that's less exciting, but highly informative. I think you guys are going to like that. The other thing that Rhiannon and I have been working on together at the shop is an episode all about packaging, and it's all about like engraving different kinds of packaging. So here, this is corrugated cardboard on the We Create, actually, which is pretty cool. We did a repeatable pattern all the way around the box, which looks super awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a ton of different kinds of examples for this kind of stuff. Let me just zoom in here. We did some basic logo work, you know, so you can just like throw a quick logo on your boxes and send them out that way. I know you can, you know, I know you can just kind of buy custom packaging, but like we have lasers, like why not just spend like an hour one day and engrave like 100 boxes, and then you've got boxes for all your shit with your logo on it.
By the way, I feel like this is a service you could provide people too.
Totally, yeah. And we bring that up in the episode. Actually, we're like, you know, even if you do nothing else with these, like engrave a couple of them and like throw them on the shelf in your showroom or whatever, you know, because you never know who's gonna think that's cool.
I've even done it with like the brown paper, like craft bags with the like twisted paper handles and stuff. I did my logo on some of those for like some gifts for people once, and it was pretty well received.
These are all my
UV.
Nice. These are all my active projects right now. But we want packaging materials. Okay, so corrugated, non-corrugated cardboard is another one we did. And this was kind of cool. So we actually ran like a full pattern over these boxes. So when you fold it up, like every single side of the box is covered. It folds into like a little jewelry box style thing. So that looked pretty cool. This one we did on the Ranger. And then there's a couple other neat materials in here. I won't show you guys every single one. We did the super common paper mailers, which I'm sure you guys are, you know, used to seeing, and we just messed around with like some different patterns and outlines and things like that to see how those things would come out. And some of the cooler ones were like, this is just like gift tissue paper, which we ran on the UV, and the gift wrapping like tissue paper is almost like bleached by the UV laser. So you get like a bright white on any color. It just comes out bright white.
Wow.
That's a cool effect.
Yeah. And another cool thing about it is you can actually see it through the back of the tissue paper too. So you get kind of a 2-for-1 on that, because if you flip it over, you can see the same exact thing. And it was super easy for us to take a huge sheet of this and just mark a repeating pattern on it in like minutes for like some custom wrap or whatever.
See, I feel like that is really cool for like baby showers, wedding stuff. I mean, like, 'cause like some things you can get that are very like bride, you know. Yeah. But like actually putting on there their name and their information and their dates and stuff like that, people pay for that kind of stuff, you know, like really well.
Any guesses as to what this is right here?
A white bubble mailer?
It's freaking thermal paper, my dudes.
Oh, no way.
Marking thermal paper with a UV laser in this clip right here. You can actually cut these out to make kind of sick little like temporary stickers. which is pretty cool. So you get like a really, really great contrast out of it. You get like a nice dark gray, and it marks super clean. It resolves detail really, really well. Of course, if you expose it to heat, right? Like if you stick this outside or whatever, it's going to fade away over time. I don't know if there's like some creative use for that or what, but I just kind of wanted to for science it. And the fact that we were able to do it was pretty cool.
Is that being thermal paper? I wonder how would the fiber fare with that? Did you try that out?
I didn't try the fiber. I did try the X-Tool F1, which failed pretty horribly. There's definitely some like energy density issues where if you get enough energy density to actually cause the reaction in the thermal paper, you're burning through the paper already.
Just lights it up, yeah.
Which is why the UVs seem to do a good job balancing energy delivered versus density so that it's not just like tearing through that thin little sheet. But I didn't try like a real big boy fiber. I think we only tried the 2-watt module on the F1, which just had to go so slow to build up enough heat to do anything. And the blue light just set it on fire. So there might be something there with a full-size fiber, but I haven't tried yet. Also, last thing I'm going to show you guys, and then we can move on, but this I think is really, really cool too. These are, for the non-believers, these are poly mailers, which this was one of our tests, so this wasn't the final setting, but it's close. Hold on, let me see if I can find a better clip of it for you. Yeah, okay, here's a time lapse really quick. That's us testing. There we go. That's the final mark. So poly mailers. Yeah, we got a really nice, like even, no bubbles, no meltage, gray. Not just on the black, the same exact setting actually worked really well on the pink poly mailers that we tried as well.
Did you
Is that fiber?
No, this is, again, it's UV. UV packaging material and UV kind of went like hand in hand because there's a lot of synthetic materials or a lot of really thin, fragile organic materials, right?
And the UV just doesn't care what it's made of either. When you,
Yeah, the
when you
UV
swap
does-
colors, it's just going to mark.
Yeah, and it can deliver so little energy, you know, like that's kind of the key with a lot of this. We also do, there's other things I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want to spoil the whole episode. I'm actually really excited to edit this one. It was a lot of fun to make. But we did things like normal paper envelopes that just no other laser can touch because they're so thin. You know, they're just way too thin. And the UV is just so good at balancing how much energy it's delivering versus like its destructive force.
I thought you were gonna say someone's gonna try this on a different laser and they're just gonna pop all the bubbles inside without knowing it, shove it there, and it's just gonna shatter their stuff.
Oh, dude, I think you would know it. It's we burned a couple of these when we were trying to figure things out.
I was gonna say, I
it's
feel like this was a
stinky.
lasered episode without Kyle. That's what I feel
Yeah,
like. It was.
Indeed, it was.
All right, light it up.
It's organized a little more professionally than maybe Kyle and I organized lasered. And
You
at
burned
the
my
end of
finger.
it, yeah, at the end of it, we don't start fires on purpose. So there's that too. But it was
On
fun.
purpose is the key.
It was fun. It's all themed around packaging and just kind of like either doing your own or customizing them for other people. But yeah, I just thought like the colors we got here and the ease at which we marked some of these materials was really exciting. So I think that'll be a fun episode. I hope you guys are looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, Bunny Washer said custom polymailers, Porch Pirates love them. I don't logo any packaging anymore because I want it to be as boring as can be.
So pro tip, don't put expensive brands on your custom poly mailers. Put your own brand on it.
Supreme.
We would just put anthrax in huge words on the side of the box and no one will touch it.
Oh God, don't do that.
Private adult purchase. All right, there were questions that I've seen, by the way.
Used
Yeah,
socks.
for sure.
Used socks. I don't know where they are. Have you been tagging them, Kyle? I can't tag anymore.
I've tagged the ones that I did come across. Yeah.
Let's go. That sounds like a really cool episode, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. We were just
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
excited
kicking
to see
around. We were trying to do something a little novel that we hadn't seen before. It was Rhiannon's idea, and I did not want to do it at all. And then once we started, I started having fun, and now I'm committed to it. So
Now you're all for it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I do have kind of a news update for the community. So how about I cover that, and we'll give it a minute for anybody in chat. Drop your laser questions, and then we'll do a straight through Q&A after my little news.
See engraved dreams, not asbestos. I think that was funny.
So here's your warning. Get your questions in. Guess who has dark mode?
Oh yeah, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been asking for it for like 3.5 years, and it's here. Shout out to Andrew, our mod, for bringing this to my attention. At least I don't know where he heard it first, but Lightburn did do a news article about it, or a blog post, I should say. So this is now a thing. So in the release candidate, it's not available in the public release yet, but in the release candidate, this will still be white in the background, but the rest of the borders and the tool menus and everything will be dark.
Yeah, that's what it defaults to, right?
Yeah. And if you go into Lightburn settings under display at the top, use dark background.
Which I think you can do now, right? That's like the only thing you can turn dark now.
I think so,
in like default Lightburn, yeah.
So here you go. So those of you like me who absolutely love dark mode, here's your thing. Also, something we haven't covered on the channel, and since I'm here,
oh, this is the best.
This is also a recent update too. So all of your shape tools are now under a drop down. So if you quick click, it's just going to land on the one selected. And if you hold click, it gives you all of these. And same with down here. So it's indicated by this little kind of like teal triangle square thing at the bottom.
Nice.
These are all your Boolean tools, which I can't show you this one because I don't have shapes. But
and also, after you create one shape, they have the option for it to default straight to changing the proportions instead of accidentally creating another square trying to highlight the square you just created.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I think it's in switch to select mode after drawing a shape.
Mine did it automatically when I downloaded this. You might have to change it.
Yeah, they've done a lot of. I think they're on like the 5th build of this release candidate or something.
Yeah.
So it depends on what version you got, probably. But so just a couple of things to be excited about that are coming soon. If you want to see all of the changes, I'll throw a link to the blog article that they threw up on their site. I'll throw that in the description.
Brilliant.
I haven't used it to fire a laser yet, but that should be coming probably tomorrow, I'd imagine.
Dr. Evil, that shit, bro. Fire the laser.
Fire the laser.
Fire the lasers. Another thing that I did at the shop, which is evident in the 2 episodes that I'm talking about, is I picked a corner. It's actually in front of the garage door, so I can't use the garage door anymore. But I made like the small lasers corner a while ago, and Rhiannon and I recently did a clean of the shop when Chris finished his table and got his table out of there finally. And we plugged in every single little laser. So now there's just like a whole corner with like 15 lasers, like little lasers plugged in. And it's like a fun place to stand because you're like surrounded by lasers.
That's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought you had them on shelves or something. Is that what you did?
Yeah, there's a few of them are on shelves, and then a few of them are on like folding tables, and you know they're just where they need to be to do what they need to do. I got so excited last week, by the way, on the podcast. I think when we were all talking about like using the We Create again and how cool I thought it was, and I totally forgot that they don't have bidirectional scanning, and now I'm depressed again. Now I don't want to use it anymore. Again, I've like gone full circuit. It's been such an emotional roller coaster because I walked over to Rhiannon while she was doing one of the boxes for the packaging episode, and I was like, this has been running for like 2 hours. What is going on? Like, we need to move on. And she's like, well, it only fires when it's moving one direction. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I remember that because when you did the photo, you were like, this photo is going to take 6 hours. I remember that now.
Yeah.
I literally said that about men.
Yeah, Control Z on that. Less excited now. That's a huge bummer, dude.
I was just watching that short a little bit ago where we were talking about that.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the final table, by the way? I don't think we talked about it, but I feel like
it looked awesome.
I feel like it came out pretty good.
Yeah, I would like to build a smaller scale version of that one.
Yeah.
Because at that
like
one
for a dollhouse.
No, like for my
I know.
Yeah, because like that looks like it would fit like 8 grown adults.
It's like an 8-seater, yeah.
Yeah, good lord.
Yep.
But I mean, if that was like your centerpiece for your room for food and for gathering and stuff,
yeah,
pretty cool.
If you guys haven't, there's also like a new 2-part micro series on the table. So in the first episode, we do all the prep work, measurements, finding the settings. We do a test piece of wood, things like that to see how it's going to do with the stain. And in the second episode, we actually do the final setup and run the engraving on the table with a open diode laser. We use the X-Tool D1 Pro because you can just set the whole friggin' thing on the table. And we just ran it right on Chris's tabletop before his polyurethaning. And it was a really good episode. I think it's really entertaining. It's fun. It's got like upbeat music and jokes and cool lasering. It's pretty neat. So if you haven't seen that yet, go watch it because it's
got some brave moods with a diode.
Yeah.
I love that you used a diode considering all the other options. I mean,
I didn't really feel like that's the thing.
Use case though.
I didn't feel like we had any other options. I felt like that was the only option. That table wasn't even going to fit in the mirror.
It's in the middle of
that leaf wouldn't like gone through a pass through or anything?
Nah. I don't think
okay.
So. Yeah. Well, for the Mira 9, if the Mira 9 had a pass through, it probably could. We probably could have jammed it in, but it doesn't. And I wasn't putting it in the Ohm Tech. That was Chris's table. He worked, X number of hours on it. It definitely wasn't going to fit in the Ranger. So the diode was the answer. It was certainly easier than putting it through a pass through too. I mean,
what else are you going to be able to like pick it up, drop it on a table, and run it?
Yeah, just slapped it on there and I hit go, dude. It was sick. Yeah.
The new Mira red lines have pass-throughs now, though.
They do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's tight. I don't have that though.
I wish. Yeah, me too. Damn it.
I've got
future goals.
I got 3 of them. I just keep them over there. I got the large laser corner. Is what I've decided on.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You like to stand in it and just kind of feel special.
Yeah, I don't turn them on or anything. They're just for looking at and like
stand in it and feel small.
I need a place to put my ginger ale. Like
you're like, man, I'm so much better than everyone else.
Then I just turn the lights off and like cover them back up and like go take a nap inside of
Sometimes you just sit there and open and close the pass through. You're like, sucks to be everyone else.
Basically.
Yeah.
What do? Touch things themselves?
Peasant lasers.
All right. Anyways, all right. Do we have questions now?
We do. We have a couple. Again, guys, if you have questions, drop them in chat. So first one, ICMP says, serious question. Does anyone have jet black fast settings for fiber laser marking cold rolled steel, mild steel? So here's the thing with getting black with a fiber laser on steel. It takes time. There's no such thing as fast black, especially if you're looking for actual black and not just black at one angle. It's a labor of love and time. And if you try and rush through it, you're going to end up with some really subpar shitty results.
Yeah, if you're doing black fast, it's going to rust. So.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing that I could think is like, I know last week Anthony had mentioned doing it at different angles, so like if you do have a faster pass, you have to do it from different angles. But even then, as you manipulate it around, you're going to see like looks like a bluing effect, like a blued steel instead. So just be mindful of that. If your customer is okay with that, by the way, I have one customer that I made flask for, and they were like, yeah, that's great, because the flask were so thin. They were the ones they provided. They were so thin. When I hit it with the Z mark, the heat on it, like it heated it so much that it actually started to warp it.
Yep.
So I had to do, and Anthony's the guy that I talked to. Anthony, there you go. Is the guy that I talked to, and he gave me a couple of ideas for how I could run that faster. And then I basically did 2 different angles. So I think it was 120, right? Yeah. So actually I did, yep, 120. There you go. Sorry, guys. 120 degrees, and it kind of hit it from 3 different angles, and it worked like a charm for that customer.
And if you have a thin flask like that, something I like to do is like get the coldest tap water I can and fill that flask up with it, and then laser on it, and then just dump it out and let the flask dry, because that cold water helps minimize the warping on that thinner stainless steel. So
yeah,
it's just kind of
and I just what I did instead of that, because I didn't have that option, I just turned on the air assist right here and blew cold air at it.
There you go.
And it was cool enough at least to not make it warp. So
I just tell people they're getting an anneal. I'm like, that's not an option for you.
on
You're
those
getting an
kind of
anneal.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you're going to get some mixed results when you start toying with trying to go faster. That's all. I go for an anneal too, simply because it's
effective.
It's effective. You get a consistent mark at various angles, and you're not going to friggin' blow it up.
Yeah. When I tell them that it costs $1 a minute and I explain to them you can have this black mark, but it's going to cost $1 a minute, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I've had people complain though they can't see the Z mark at certain angles when they're like wearing a pendant. If you're looking dead at it, you can't see it sometimes or whatever. That's the only real complaint of having like a Z mark.
then you
Or
did
not Z mark. I'm sorry, anneal.
If
Oh,
you
yeah.
want like a 100 degree or 180 degree viewing angle, then like maybe you should be looking at printing instead of
Yeah.
right, you know.
Yeah. I mean, rotating the hatch does help a lot, but it's not infallible. I mean, the 3 passes, the 3 different angles.
I would say like if they're still not happy with that, I'd be like, dude, you want sublimation. You don't want this engraved.
You want somebody who has UV DTF like the DT whatever where they can like pop it on there, like he said, printing, and that's going to be what you need.
Yeah.
And if you
We're
know
not
someone,
that kind of streaming channel, though.
yeah, and if you know somebody, like find somebody in your area that does that kind of work though, and it's great to have people like that because I have a guy that I've sent a couple things to. There were people who had white cups and they wanted black, but they didn't want it to have any texture, and I was like, yeah, that's not what I do. And they were like, oh, okay. But sending them to that person has sent me in turn people who needed watches, people who needed like 20 or 30 or something. So just saying.
Mark says, anyone have any issues with engraving black acrylic on a fiber, getting different color results? Some came out normal with whitish, others came out more of a goldish, all cast acrylic from JPP.
I think that's probably, I mean, have you guys done as much as I have?
I would argue that the goldish color is you cooking the acrylic.
Yeah.
Right. It's too hot. And if you're like melting the acrylic and cooking it to get it to become that gold color, or you're getting nothing and it's one or the other, then there's a problem elsewhere.
I was going to say, I can tell you that means that you probably have something not balanced.
Another thing could be your fill pattern too. So if you're doing like a flood fill or a fill by object instead of fill all shapes at the same time, that's going to concentrate the heat into a smaller area. Because you have to imagine it's doing a swipe of the laser and then a swipe back, and that distance is much smaller if you're filling little small characters versus a big shape.
And the whole thing is heating up kind of uniformly. And when you mention that, it makes me think of the other very, very common cause of this symptom, which is your line distance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, if your line distance is too tight, it doesn't really matter how fast you go because you're hitting the same spots over and over and over and over and over again, especially on plastics. And especially, this is a very common problem with like CO2 lasers because people always think if they just turn up their DPI, they'll get more detail. And that's not how that works. But I see it with fibers too. And a lot of people get a little overzealous with their line distance. So loosen up that line distance, use a larger interval. And you'll probably see an improvement there.
Yeah, there are charts out there where you can refer to your lens size and an approximate dot size that you're going to get out of it. So if you're using like a 200 millimeter lens and like a 0.020 line interval, then you're cooking that same spot 2-3 times before it moves on to a whole fresh new area. So like Alex said, line interval is going to be a big thing because you're just repeating over and over the same spot.
And I would reiterate too, like the charts, while probably a good jumping off point, like you should be measuring your own spot size for all of your lenses. And we have videos about that. Rhiannon and I just did a buttload of them, and you can watch us work through the process. And then a couple months before that, Kyle did a bunch with me, and we put them under the big scope and got really accurate measurements. But you don't need that. You can do it with the cheap little $40 Amazon digital USB microscopes, and you can get a number that's close enough for what we do. And if you haven't done that, I really, really recommend it, because even though we're not doing raster images, I usually make a big deal about this when we're doing photos, not overlapping those lines. Ideally, for consistent for consistent variability between settings and knowing how things are going to change, you really want to, in general, avoid overlapping those lines unless you're purposefully trying to do it to achieve some kind of effect. In general, your expectations of the settings you're using with your laser will be more consistent and reliable if you're not overlapping the lines. So you should always be using line distances or line intervals that kind of correspond in one way or another to the spot size that you're getting.
And then the last thing I would say too is the lot. Like plastic is just like any other thing. It's made in lots, and it to the common eye, like to our eye, it's gonna look the same, but to the laser, it might act differently. So if you can mark something like say this is the first sheet, you could literally have something that indicates do a test grid on this one, and then you run a test grid on the second one, and then you run a test grid on the third one, and then if you see any discrepancies, you might have to change it, okay, these that came from this sheet, I need to hit this way. And that's really rare, but I have had that happen to me before, and I was just there's something wrong because I've changed nothing. And with plastics, it's not like steel with temperature changes and stuff like that, where the plastic is colder, so it's gonna do that. Doesn't happen. But I've had it happen where I don't know if it's the opacity, if it's something different, but the laser did do something a little weird. So if you can have one piece of it just be for testing. Just saying.
He did respond saying all items were done at once, 150 pieces, one after the other, sitting on a jig. So
Yeah.
One thing I would add to that is, are you doing any kind of is it text and the text is changing from piece to piece, or are you changing anything from item to item, or are you engraving the same logo 150 times in a row? Because if it's just changing from a silver to a gold or a white to a gold as your result, and you're engraving the same thing and all you're doing is pressing the button, hitting start, you might be right on the edge of being too much for getting that white result, and then you're getting gold as a result of that. The other thing to consider too is that I'm pretty sure they probably come with a film on top, right?
Yeah.
Are you removing the film, Mark?
What was the actual item again? I forgot.
These
It's
black acrylics,
just black
these guys
acrylic.
right here.
Did he cut them?
I have no idea.
I would also think it's worth it to do a little spot check of your material thickness. Could be something too.
That's
Some of them
factor.
are a tiny bit thicker or a tiny bit thinner.
Lots
not
of considerations.
Yeah, I was gonna need fiber. So I was looking at the Raisin Bran box because I make this analogy all the time, but I never actually get to show it, and I'm in my living room, so I thought I could show it for once, but it's not on the box, of course, so I'm going to sound like a crazy person unless you're old, I guess. But I usually, when I get something, I have a setting for some really specific kind of plastic, right? And somebody brings me a new batch of that I haven't done for them in a while. I usually ask them for an extra one or for some scrap material or whatever, so I call them serial box marks. And so a while ago, at least, or maybe on a different brand or something, boxes like this had a bunch of little circles running down the side where they were tests.
Color code ink test, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yes. Yeah,
right
exactly
here.
like that.
I knew what you were looking for, dude.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
grabbed this can out of my can little deal over here.
Yeah, that's what you did.
They go on they go on magazine test prints too and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's what I tell them I'm doing. I call them serial box marks or whatever. And
even if Watcher said they're called Pantone spot colors.
Pantone spot colors. There you go. So I'll do those, and if even if it's a one-off, I'll try to find a hidden area on it or something to do those. But especially when I'm doing a new big batch of something I've already done, just to make sure that my settings are consistent with the last time I've done them. That's not really relevant to what Mark's talking about. It's just another thing that you can do to prevent issues like this in the future. Is just making sure that you're getting consistent results from those settings before you get halfway through a job or whatever.
Yeah, Mark said he's going to check through all that, and please let us know. Either hit us up in the Discord or join again next week. Keep us updated because we'd love to hear how that goes for you.
For sure.
Bunny real quick had asked what's a good size or what's the good line distance for black acrylic. For me, the setting that I use is
plastic.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah, okay. I thought it was on acrylic. Oops. Well, for acrylic,
Same lesson. Same
it's
answer.
speed 2500, max power 30, frequency 45, and I can send this to you. But basically the line interval is 0.035 for me. It gives me a nice like color.
Yeah, a lot of the like laser everything library settings do exactly what I just told everybody not to do, which is overlap lines, because back then I didn't really know what I was doing. And the settings work, which is half the battle, but they weren't made in the smartest way when I created all those settings. So generally 0.025, which is kind of the like laser everything line distance, what everybody uses these days, is an overlapping interval, which is not good. So if you are doing something sensitive on the fiber, you should be more in like the 0.04 to 0.03 range. That's far more accurate as far as like what you're actually getting spot size wise. Of course, that's going to vary dramatically depending on the lens that you're using too, because fiber is one of the worst offenders of changing dot sizes between lenses. The UV, you see almost none of that. And the CO2 is probably the worst, but the fiber is pretty naughty when it comes to swapping out lenses. So that is going to change on you, which is why it's important to test your spot size that you're getting out of each of your lenses. Keep track of them in the chart. We have live streams about that too, where we literally sit and build the charts out so that you guys can see what they look like. But again, 0.025, just a heads up to anybody that's using the laser everything parameter libraries, is typically an overlapping line distance on the fiber, unless you're on something really small, really tight, like a 50 or a 70. And even then, it's probably a little tight. So you do want to be more in the 0.04 to 0.03 range on that.
Just as a reference too, if you go back and you look at the lasered episodes that me and Alex did, we do a lot of plastics. We do an Amazon Kindle Fire. We do a bunch of phones that are various metals, plastics, coatings, etc. We do a couple different earpod headphone cases, etc., etc.
Definitely poison ourselves with chlorine. If you don't go for any other reason, you can watch that.
But you'll notice that we mess around with dot size and we talk through some of the reasons why, particularly in the director's cut that's on the LMA. We talk through the reason why we're changing specific settings to tune toward a mark where we get our finished marks. So if you get value out of something like that and the original episode doesn't talk you through enough of it, it just gives you the answer without the reason why, that's a good resource to for the thought process behind it.
Yeah, if you can, this is kind of like the teach a man to fish is lasered. A lot of people don't like that because it's not as fun and it takes longer to watch and it can be boring. But
I think the director's cut was like 45 minutes on a couple of those.
Yeah, dude, if you can train yourself to find good settings on plastics like we do in lasered with machines that you should not be doing plastics with, you can develop the critical thinking skills to tackle any material with
any project.
I like how you called it lasers. Was it teach a man to fish, and then all the descriptors you gave were the same way I talk about fishing shows. You're like, it's long, it's tedious, you can drink while you do it, it's boring.
I just got a question. Can you go to the materials test settings and just do variable dot size settings instead of consistent power and speed? Just change only the dot size.
The line interval.
Line interval. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Yep. I might do that myself.
You can test up to 2 different variables. It doesn't mean you have to test 2 different variables, but yeah, you can.
Onwards.
Time Traveler says, "Hi Alex at Laser Everything. How can we download and import the EasyCAD laser settings for metals into the EasyCAD software? And can you also provide a link to your website or any specific page where we can get those?"
I don't have a Windows machine on me right now, so I can't demonstrate it for you, but I saw your question and prepared for it. Lately, so we just made this change and I haven't really announced it yet, so I guess I'll announce it now. But cash is tight. I haven't really talked about this because I don't like talking about it, but we are on a budget right now and it sucks. So the parameter libraries have been free for a long time. Now we are asking people, if you'd like to download those libraries and take advantage of them, contribute to the channel, please. You can get them 2 places as of the recording of this episode. The first one, and the one I recommend the most, is the Laser Master Academy. If you go to masters.lasereverything.net, it's the number one way to support the channel. The funds go directly to us so we can continue doing the jobs that we like to do. If you scroll all the way down here, we've got a couple different plans available, including the visitor pass, which gets you in the door, gets your foot in the door absolutely free, so you can take a peek around, see what it looks like. But if you like what you see, I highly recommend upgrading to at least the Gamma tier right here. It's $15 a month, and it does include access to those parameter libraries, which are super easy to find and download. It's a one-click download. It's very, very easy. So that is an option there. That said, the Patreon's kind of been blowing up lately. It wasn't something that I really paid a lot of attention to, but ever since we kind of publicly made it an option, a lot of people have been flocking to it, probably because of the name recognition. People are really popular with it. We don't get 100% of the funds from this. Patreon takes a cut, but there are enough of you guys now that we wanted to make sure we added this too. So I added a new tier just to make sure everything was even between the two from here and the LMA. So there's a new Make Army Commander tier. It's $15 a month. You get everything you got with the old tiers, but you also get access to the existing parameter libraries. And I finally broke Rhiannon and I, and we'll be working with Kyle when we have a bunch of stuff, because we're going to need him to test stuff for JPT and make changes as needed. But Rhiannon and I are working on the base for a UV library. Everybody's been asking for that for a super long time. I'm finally doing it. It's actually starting with a ton of the materials from this packaging video that we're putting out. Yeah, so we'll have that for you. I put expected March of 25, so soon. I'll have at least a base library, and like we did with the original libraries, we'll update them, once a month, once every 2 months or whatever, whenever we have something new and interesting to add to it. I do just want to make sure we take the time with Kyle and Matt, if he's willing or whatever, to make sure that the settings that we come up with for the Ingu are reflected somehow by the JPT. We'll probably end up doing a split library. So when you open the folder, there will be 2 folders. One will say JPT, one will say Ingu, and then you click into that.
Fiber does too.
Yeah, and then you pick a wattage from there, and you pick a lens from there. And it's going to be harder, and it won't be as developed as the other libraries right off the bat, but I don't want to just sit here and ask for more money. So I want to make sure that you guys are getting something in return, and so we're going to make a concerted effort to get this done for you guys in a reasonable amount of time. I've been using the UV long enough that I feel very confident with it now, and I think that we can start moving forward with this. So that's kind of my announcement on that. So that answers one part of your question, where to get the libraries. It's either the Patreon pinned post or on the Laser Master Academy. Super easy to find. You just, on the left, it'll say laser settings and parameters, and you click that, and there's 3 links, 1, 2, 3, and you just click them and they download and save. As far as importing them, we have multiple videos at this point, I'm fairly sure, including ones linked on the Laser Master Academy. So if you're a member or you're signing up over there, you'll be able to see the video, but you can just find it on the YouTube channel as well, that teaches you how to download and install those libraries. And it's just a quick channel search if you don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know this, but if you go to YouTube and we go to the channel real quick, view your channel. So this magnifying glass up here will search all of YouTube, but YouTube actually gives you another one right here. And if you type something in here, it'll just search our channel. So if you're looking for something specific and you want to see it from us, or you're looking for a specific thing about the website or about the LMA or whatever, this search box will just search our channel and return only local results, which is super useful. Just do a search in that box for parameters and it'll come right up. But yeah, so hopefully that gets you started. If you're confused about any of that, you can always sign up for the absolutely free Discord or Facebook group or whatever. There's a billion people that'll be able to get you from point A to B on that. So hopefully that helps.
Yep, that's all we got for questions, at least that I marked. I'm going to look through really quick and make sure I didn't miss anything recent. Resin says, you deserve to get paid for all that. 3D printer and Resin 3D printer channels all charge on Patreon for their settings.
Yeah, I mean, I just, and everybody calls me an idiot for this, but I just don't like putting things behind paywalls. So it really bothers me to do it. But, you know, with the way things are right now, times be tough and everything is more expensive. My people are more expensive. Our servers are more expensive. Our building is more expensive. We just got a rent increase, and it's starting to add up. So, you know, well, if I can, I'll make them free again. The whole point of making them free in the past was to give back after so many people came together to bring this community together and make our channel what it is today. And I want to give that gift again, but right now we have to kind of focus on survival and just keeping things running smoothly. So everybody that contributes now helps us build another future where we can do that again. And that's the goal. But right now we really appreciate your support. If that's something you're looking for, definitely check it out. There's links to everywhere you can support us. We have other ways you can support us too. They just don't include parameter libraries. But there's a whole list over at lasereverything.net/support if you want to check that out too.
Let's see. And then John and Resin were both saying Master Classic and Gamma Baby.
Yeah, buddy. That Master Class, that's the old school. That's the old gang.
OG.
The OGs. Well, I'm good. Are you guys good?
Yeah, that's it for questions.
Yeah, man, that's it.
We covered
Right,
everything that came up in chat.
I love it. Boyce, fucking
all
little
right.
motherfucker. I missed you, dude.
He had that ride. Did you notice how it settled him down so hard?
This dude, bro.
He got to the bottom of the cup and he was just like,
If you want to listen to everybody here, except Anthony, because he wasn't here yet, panic that Boyce is dead. Go listen to the first two
Episode
episodes
1.
of Emergency Stop.
Right.
Because Boyce literally fades so hard that he turns into an actual ghost.
He just disappears.
It just disappears.
the
like
part was
right
how he
out of thin
ran
air.
past the camera for like 30 seconds. And it was like,
Bro.
he was like,
So bizarre, dude.
that's best.
So bizarre. Oh, let's wrap up with Time Traveler real quick. You left another comment. Alex, thank you so much for all your help and information. This out on your website. Thanks again, Alex. You're incredible. Keep doing great things. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, guys. We love you. Engraved Dream says E-Stop is so good. What's up? We actually just recorded a new episode for you guys, which I
gotta
haven't
be on that
uploaded
show
yet, but I
someday.
will soon.
I gotta come on there once.
I know, dude. I think that you'd be a great guest. So,
One day,
you
maybe.
know,
no,
someday.
John.
Someday Matthew Bodiford will join us on Emergency Stop,
One
which
day.
he's never been on. And there's no
One
reason
never?
for any current or past employer to check and see because he's never done it.
Never.
It'd be fruitless.
Yeah, fruitless, like
Like Boyce's drink tonight.
It's a waste of
I know.
employed hours.
peaches. Rough.
Yeah, that was-
All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to let you go. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another live episode of the Laser Source podcast. I love being here live with you guys, the live chat. You guys are always the best. I love reading comments. I love how the show kind of just goes its own way based on what chat says. I think that's my favorite part about doing the podcast, and I think that's why it's gone on as long as it had, because you guys always throw curveballs and things just kind of get crazy. Redson's asking, does E-Stop have its own channel? It does. I think it's just under my name, Alex Salidi. Whoops. But if you type Emergency Stop Podcast into Google, it'll just come up for you. Anyway, that's all we got. I'm actually leaving. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love each and every one of you.
Bye, everybody.
And we will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.